Hello, Comic-Con. I am Senate President Pro Tempore Tony Atkins, beaming down from California's capital in Sacramento. This is a very different con than we are all used to, but leave it to the organizers of this event to find a way to keep everyone connected through this year's Comic-Con at home, which truly is the safest way for us to gather this year. 2020 marks the 51st year of Comic-Con, and in all those years, this event has thrived and grown in San Diego. I'm proud to represent the 39th Senate District, where Comic-Con was born. From its humble beginnings in the heart of downtown San Diego at the El Cortez Hotel to becoming the largest pop culture convention on earth at the San Diego Convention Center, you all have helped put Comic-Con and San Diego on the map, making it cool to be a self-proclaimed geek. This event truly is a celebration of the history and ongoing contribution of comics to arts and culture. I am so proud to see Comic-Con thrive in its mission to create an inclusive community that brings awareness of and appreciation for comics and art in all its forms. I'm also excited that Comic-Con is working on a permanent home at the Comic-Con Museum in the heart of Balboa Park. I look forward to seeing the transformation of the venue in the coming months. I want to thank Comic-Con for keeping this event going in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic and continuing to find new ways to celebrate each other. So thank you. Wherever in the world you are watching right now, San Diego can't wait to welcome you all back.
Hi, this is Mayor Kevin Faulkner. And July is hands down the best month to be in San Diego. And that's in large part because of Comic-Con International. Comic-Con weekend is an annual tradition that our entire city looks forward to every single year. And this year, of course, will be a little different. Instead of getting together in person, we'll be celebrating Comic-Con virtually this week. The real-life superheroes who put on Comic-Con have put together a fantastic lineup of action-packed panels that I know you're going to enjoy. And while the format may have changed, the most important aspect of this year's event remains. Comic-Con is for everyone. Comic-Con has always been a welcoming place for people from all walks of life to share their passion for the arts. And San Diego has the same philosophy. Our city's greatest strength is our diversity. And that's why it's so fitting that Comic-Con has called San Diego home for the past 50 years. So speaking on behalf of all San Diegans, we're going to miss seeing you and all the creative costumes that bring smiles to so many faces. But San Diego looks forward to having Comic-Con back, along with all of you, in person next year. So to all the Star-Lords, Wonder Women, and Baby Yodas out there, welcome to Comic-Con 2020, the at-home version. Have a great time, and we'll see you next year.
To see you all. Please be careful when you're getting off the escalators. And from your security team, welcome to Comic-Con.
Here's your Comic-Con at home badge. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Comic-Con. Don't forget to tap your badge on the pylon as you come in. Have a good day.
Please do not run in the exhibit hall. Walk to your destination.
Need a child badge? I can help with that.
Don't forget to check out our special guest panels.
Respect the escalators.
Do you want to learn about the Comic-Con Museum opening in 2021?
Volunteers, all those assigned to 130 portals, line up and follow me.
You'll need a wristband to enter this exclusive signing.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the art show. Why, yes, you can buy that art, but you'll need a bidder's number first. Please follow me and I can help you get one.
to Comic-Con at Home. I'm Mikey Ritter. I'm the coordinator for the hospitality department. I've been with the convention for 45 years, and it's been my pleasure and my privilege for the last 30 some odd years to be the hospitality coordinator. The con suite portion of the hospitality department is a hospitality room open to everyone with a badge. We serve light snacks, potato chips, lots of onion dip, vegetables, because I'm a mom and I insist, and we can never forget our M&Ms. We've had M&Ms in the con suite for over 30 years. When I say we use a lot of onion dip, I mean we use a lot of onion dip. We're only open 3 nights during the convention, and we go through an average of 4 gallons of onion dip each night. So for fun, I thought it would be interesting to show you how we make the onion dip for the con suite. It's a little bit different than what you do at home. First of all, always practicing food safety. You need to wear your food handler's gloves. Next, you have to have the proper equipment. A really big mixing bowl, a really big whisk. We start out with 64 ounces of sour cream. When we've gotten all of the sour cream into the bowl, we will be adding 64 ounces of mayonnaise. In the con suite, we have cold sodas, we have the light snacks I've mentioned, and the con suite's a really great place to meet up with your party at the end of the day, plan your day for the next, what you'd like to see, what movies you're going to want to watch. It's not a bad place to go to plan for the parties that you're going to be going to that night. It's not a bad place to go through your swag bags and see all the goodies that you've been able to get. Now this is a 64-ounce jar of mayonnaise. And we add that into the bowl. The con suite is usually located in the hotel right next to the convention center. We have had different locations, but that's usually where we are located. We are open Thursday afternoon, and we close usually each night at midnight. It never hurts to have paper towels on hand. We always have plenty of paper towels in the con suite. Now I'm going to whisk these two things together. Until they're smooth. Takes a little bit of elbow grease. Reasonably smooth. Then we add the onion soup mix. We'll note these are a little bit bigger than the ones that you buy at the grocery store. These are commercial size. They're a 5.5 ounce packet. What I like to do is I sprinkle them in a little slowly, whisking the whole time. Keeps the lumps from forming. It is important to remember that for this gallon, you need 2 of these packets. If for some reason you don't use 2 packets, it will not taste nearly as good as it does when mixed properly. Give that a good whisking, scraping the sides. And that would be why you need a really big mixing bowl to do this. Now you at home can probably use a mixer, but we don't have that luxury in the con suite, so we do this by hand. And there you have the onion dip that we serve in the con suite. For fun, we have included this recipe and several other recipes at the Comic-Con at Home subpage con suite. There are recipes included from the convention center and from various members of the Comic-Con family. We hope you have fun. We hope that if you ever need to serve 100 people or more onion dip, you remember this recipe. It's quick, it's easy, and it makes a lot of onion dip. Thank you very much. Enjoy the Comic-Con at Home experience, and we hope to see you next year at Comic-Con. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Craig. I am part of Comic-Con's volunteer staff. I am part of the guest relations team. I've been going to Comic-Con since, I'm going to guess, around 2003 or so. And I've been volunteering since probably about 2007. I don't know, it's been a long time. I've been going for a while. Hard to keep track after all of these years. So I'm going to show you today is how to build something cool with Lego. Now, if you're like me and you watch a lot of other building Lego videos online, it's like, oh, build this, I'm going to show you how to build this, and then it takes 100 different pieces. They have to be put in this exact right spot. They're all rare pieces that you probably don't have in your Lego collection or have to spend a bunch of time sorting through to find, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to build this really cool crossbow. It's super simple. Okay, if there are any pieces in it that you don't have, I'll try to explain as I'm going what I'm trying to accomplish with it and maybe give you a few ideas on what to use instead. Okay? That way, hopefully everybody can build this thing. Okay? That is my goal, to have every one of you building one of these awesome crossbows here. So to build the crossbow, this is going to be all the pieces that you need. If you're missing one or two of them, that should be okay. As I go through the steps later, I'll kind of give you alternatives and explain what's going on, so maybe you can come up with alternatives yourself. So the first thing is that we're going to need 2 of these long Technic bricks. Okay, these ones are 16 studs long. We're going to need 2 studless beams also. One of them we're going to want to be at least close to as long as our 2 Technic bricks. And then the other one, at least kind of long. It's going to be our bolt when we actually fire our crossbow. And then we're going to need 2 of these long pins. They're 3 studs long, 2 bushings, 2 axles that are at least kind of long. They don't have to be super long. Then we have 2 of these axles, they're going to be 3 studs long. They can be a little bit longer if need be. This is the one piece that I'm a little bit worried you might not have. So on this side, you can kind of see there's a pinhole, and then if you look on the other side, there's 2 axle holes. If you don't have that, we'll kind of go over some alternatives. Then we have 4 shorter Technic bricks. I like to use ones that are 3 holes across, so 4 studs wide, and then a rubber band. So that is all that you need to build this. All right, so let's get into how to build this thing. Okay, so what we're going to start with is you're going to need your long studless beam. Okay, this one's going to be the one as long as those Technic bricks we're going to use. And you're going to need those 2 long pins as well. And what we're going to do, we're just going to stick these pins all the way through so you can kind of see one end of the pin is hanging out of each side. You might also notice I skipped the first hole. You're going to want to do that too. And we're just going to do that on both ends here. Okay, I'm doing just like that. Okay, and all we want here at this point is to have a pin sticking out of both sides. Okay, so if you don't have these long pins, you only have regular short pins, you can do like a pin on this side facing out and then another one on this side facing out in the next hole, and then just do that twice. So on both sides you have 2 pins facing out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our Technic bricks onto those pins. Again, making sure we don't put anything through that first hole, because that first hole we're going to use in just a moment here. Okay, so we have this, we have these Technic bricks on each side. Okay, one other thing I want to show you, pretty much this whole thing is going to be built upside down the way it's going to work out. So we have these studs that are usually the tops of Legos. Today they are going to be the bottom on all of these pieces. So basically what we want at this point, we want to have these 2 Technic bricks are a little bit higher up than our studless beam, so there's like a little bit of a canal in here for our bolt to go into later. Okay, and then we need to add one more thing to the front. So I'm going to add an axle to that first hole, the one that we left empty, and then I'm going to put one of these bushings on each side just to help hold that axle in place so it's not sliding all over the place. And if you don't have an axle, you can use anything else. Basically, you just need something to stick out of both sides. Eventually, we're going to put our rubber band on here, so we just need something to attach it to. Okay. For now, we're going to set that down, and we're going to work on the next thing. So we need our, I said you needed 4 of these shorter Technic bricks. Okay, and we're just going to make 2 stacks of 2 like this. As you can see, I'm holding them upside down again. We're going to do that. That's our next step, and we're just going to set those down for just a second. And now we're going to get into this weird piece that I talked about with the 2 axle holes on this side, and then if you turn it 90 degrees, we have like the pinhole going that way. Okay, if you don't have this, I'll try to show you some things that you can do instead. But what we're going to do, if you have it, you're going to take these 3 stud axles and put them through there. If you have longer, if you don't have this exact size, it's fine. You can do longer ones. They'll just kind of stick out when we do our next step, which is taking these, and we're just going to slide those into the top hole. Remember, we're holding this upside down, so the top hole is the side that doesn't have the studs in them. And yeah, if you use longer axles, they'll just stick out the side, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to get in the way at all. Okay. And then what we're going to do, we are going to take this and we are going to put it right on top on the front, right above where we put that axle before. So we're just going to attach it like that. And then you can kind of see there's going to be a hole right here that we're going to slide our bolt into later. We can see we can slide that straight back and it goes through. Okay. One thing, getting back to this piece on top that I was worried you might not have, if you don't have it, you can just put like bushings on each one of those axles, or if you have more of those long pins, you can put them on there. All we really want is we're trying to attach these 2 Technic bricks together, and we want to have a hole in between there. Okay, and I'll show you what that's going to be used for later. So if it's a little bit wider, it'll still work. Just maybe not quite as well, but it'll still work. Okay, all right, let's finish this thing up because we are almost done. The next thing, we need our rubber band. To attach our rubber band, all we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to stick this around those. We're going to put it on one axle, wrap it around the back of these Technic bricks, and then attach it to our other axle. Okay, So that's going to create this elastic so we can kind of see when we put our other studless beam through, it's going to pull that rubber band back, and then if I let go, it's going to shoot it out forward. Okay. Now the last thing, we want some control over when we are shooting. So what we're going to do, we should still have one more axle that we haven't used, and you can kind of see that hole that's in the top on there, and then I have holes here on this studless beam, and what's going to happen is they're going to line up. So when I push this through, it's going to go through that first hole, and it's going to go through the hole that's on my studless beam, and it's going to hold it in place until I am ready to fire. Okay. That's it. That is all that it takes. I hope that you were able to build it. I hope that you had an awesome time here with me today. Go and have fun. Happy Comic-Con.
Hi everybody, my name is Katie Cook, longtime Comic-Con participant, and this is the first time in over a decade that I will not be there to see all of you at San Diego Comic-Con, so I am participating in Comic-Con at home. So you may remember me from some projects, such as Star Wars. I was the lead writer for the My Little Pony comics for a while. I've done stuff for Marvel, I've done stuff for Disney, I've done stuff for Fraggle Rock, and I've done stuff for so many other companies. And I mean, it has always been a blast. And then I love going to Comic-Con because after you guys line up outside that giant convention center, I am always in Artist Alley at my little table, and then I am always across the street at Lou and Mickey's eating baked cheese afterwards. It is a tradition and I will miss it, but this time they asked me to do a little how to draw tutorial, so I thought instead of any of those other things, I would do something from my comic that I do on Webtoon called Nothing Special. So I picked one of the characters from my webcomic, and his name is Radish. That's right, Radish. And why is he named Radish? It's 'cause he's a radish, and he is dead. So he's my favorite, so I'm going to do a quick little drawing of him for everybody to follow along. Now, the first thing you have to do when you draw Radish is you draw a very bad circle. You just make a lumpy circle. It is a squashed football. It is a rotten potato. Do what you will with that. And then we are going to add his little foliage on top. His hair are little leaves. He's adorable. And then his cute little eyes. And then we have the decision to make him sad. No, I guess he's mad. Mad, happy. Mad, happy. Mad, happy. Let's make him mad. So, on top of that, we are going to go in with his little nubbins for arms, and then I have the, wonderful, wonderful option that I am on the computer, so I have done all of this at a time. And then I can add my inks. And then I can go through and delete all of my line art afterwards, and I'm going to color them really quick. Let's see. That way you guys can get the full effect of kind of watching me draw, as opposed to having it done ahead of time. And I'm just going to lay in a little bit of quick color right here. I love Radish because he is the voice of conscience in the comic. He is very sassy, and he's the one that's pointing out when everyone's kind of being a dork. So let's see, there is that, and then he always has a little bit of glow around him, because let's not forget that he is a ghost, there is that. And then the absolute most important thing that you can do with your artwork at the end is sign it. So hopefully I get to see all of you next year at Comic-Con 2021. And have a great day. Bye.
Hello Comic-Con at Home viewers, my name is Bryn and I've been working in the Communications and Strategy Department at Comic-Con for the last 2 years. One of my passions is eating, and in order to eat, you've got to cook. So today we're going to be making some kryptonite rock candy. One of my favorite things about this recipe is that it's super adaptive, so you can swap out a lot of the things you'll need as long as you have sugar. So here's what you'll need. A couple of glass jars, 3 cups white sugar, food coloring, clothespins, chopsticks, and 1 cup of water. Once you've gathered all of your supplies, we're going to start by taking your rock candy stick or skewer. This is just a bamboo chopstick. And we are going to measure it with our cups that we're using. So I'm just using a regular mason jar. You want to make sure that when you set yours up, it's not going to touch the bottom because we need space for the rock crystals to form. And then also you don't want the sugar to protrude out of the cup. So I'm probably going to do about 5 inches of my skewer covered in a thin layer of sugar. So in order to do that, I'm just going to wet it a little bit. And then I have a plate of sugar right here, and I'm just going to cover it. So once you've done this with all of your skewers, I'm only going to do 2 for today, but you could probably do up to 4 with this recipe. You can let these dry for about 30 minutes, and then we'll meet back. Once your skewers have dried, it's now time to start the sugar solution. So to do that, I'm going to take my 1 cup of water and my 3 cups of sugar, and I'm going to add them to a saucepan just on medium heat until it simmers and it's all dissolved. My solution of sugar and water has just started to boil, so now I'm going to add my food coloring. You can do any food coloring. Gel food coloring works the best, but I'm going to be doing the classic green kryptonite for this. It doesn't really matter how much you put in, just as much as you want works. If you want it a little deeper in color, you can add more. I probably added about a tablespoon of green gel. And this is apparently sparkle gel, so we'll see how it comes out. So I've just let my hot sugar solution set on the stove for about 20 minutes to cool down a little. And then in that time, I kind of fastened my little holders. I did add some blue painter's tape. However you can get it so that your stick covered in sugar won't touch the sides or the bottom is totally fine. And then I have my green sugar solution here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my solution into the jar, and I'll probably do about half and half. Pretty neon. Okay, so here you can see I have the 2 jars. And just before I poured the solution in, I ran the jars under hot water just to increase their temperature a little so it doesn't shock the sugar. And then I will take my sugar stick, which has been drying, and I'm going to carefully place it into the solution. Again, I don't want it to touch the bottom. So here is the final product, and you're basically just going to let these sit for 3 to 5 days. The hardest part is definitely going to be waiting, but hopefully they'll turn out really cool. As soon as they've set, you can kind of try to break them free just by poking at the top of the sugar and then pulling out the sticks. So I really hope you guys have an awesome time doing this. It's fun for all ages, but things get pretty hot, so make sure you talk to a responsible adult before you begin. Cheers! Hello everyone! So it has been about 72 hours since I started my rock candy. And I did say that waiting was the hardest part, which is why I only waited 72 hours. But like I said, you can wait 3 to 5 days, doesn't matter. The longer you wait, the bigger your rock candy will get. So you can start to see that it is crystallized in places. I'm just gonna take off my clothespin and then just use another chopstick to break away the sugar. And this is dripping quite a lot, so I'm just going to leave it over here. But you can see that it has definitely started to crystallize from the part where it was fully submerged. So I'll probably let this drip and then I will take a bite. Anyways, I hope you guys had fun. And tastes like sugar. Fortunately, it's not real kryptonite. Bye.
Science fiction and Comic-Con go together. When we first landed on the moon, it showed us that anything is possible. And if the Soviets landed on the moon first, I would imagine things would be very different. When Comic-Con started in 1970, it was just after the moon landing, and it was this gathering which had comic books, costuming, science fiction.
It's such an honor to be a part of this Comic-Con world. It doesn't get bigger when it comes to sci-fi, TV shows, and comics.
Comic-Con is all about uncovering the unknown, and For All Mankind fits perfectly into that because it is uncovering territory that we haven't seen before.
The shock across the nation at this event is indescribable. Soviet cosmonaut has become the first to set foot on the moon.
The premise of For All Mankind is the Soviet Union beats the United States in landing the first man on the moon in 1969. And as a result, all of history changes.
The development of technology goes quicker, the social change is more rapid. Instead of seeing the space race decline, it is enhanced and accelerated.
Ignition sequence has started.
It is interesting to think about if the Soviets beat us to the moon, what the impact of this alternate history would be. If being on the moon, going to Mars was a part of our everyday life, then I think we'd look for something else in our movies and comic books.
The Soviets landing on the moon first might have had a huge impact on Comic-Con. Maybe we push the envelope a little bit more with science fiction.
Had the Soviets landed on the moon in reality first, maybe Comic-Con would have been even larger. Maybe we would be further along in technology. We would all be super nerds and it would be incredible.
Comic books have always reflected culture. Spider-Man and Hulk stem from fears about radiation. The X-Men reflecting the civil rights movement. So I think the Cold War element of space makes the moon really fertile ground for comic books in particular.
I think it would have had lots of changes in Comic-Con and pop culture because there would be more science fiction and space-oriented comics and probably more film and television as well.
Would it have affected the original Battlestar? Probably, yes. Things might have been a little darker, and there would be this race. There would be this competition.
Maybe E.T. would have got the word that the Russians are more interested in space than anywhere else in the world, and that's where they would have gone to visit. Yeah, who knows?
Star Trek would have changed, and the original show would have definitely had a Cold War vibe to it. Klingons would be stand-ins for the Soviets.
Jamestown
space has landed on the edge of Shackleton Crater. How about that? We're on the moon to stay.
For All Mankind asks some very interesting questions, because if the Soviets landed on the moon first, the world is in a very different place.
The construct of having the Soviets landing first, you have to see For All Mankind. That's where you get the full impact.
Adversity is not always bad. Sometimes losing is good, and when we try harder, we do better.
Great storytelling has the ability to pull people in and ask the question of what if.
For All Mankind is just an exquisitely, brilliantly executed show that belongs in this world that Comic-Con loves.
Remember, we chose to go to the moon, not because it was easy, but because it was hard.
Seriously. Seriously, fans always ask, does the cast have a favorite episode, a favorite cutaway, a favorite moment? What comes to mind over 350 episodes?
You know, for me, it's probably our Clue episode, and then there were fewer. I'm partial to that one.
How about you, Alex?
I have moments that I love, and I've mentioned most of them, and there seems to be a theme. Like I was laughing because this act that we just read, Seth had a moment that it's something that we've done before, and it always makes me laugh. Him getting the phone and going, "Who is this?" Or one time when they're fighting on a boat, and Joe throws Peter something. He's like, "Don't throw things at me, Joe." Like, I just love those ridiculous moments that are just pure character. And for Lois, my favorite line of all time is, "Who wants chowder?"
Seriously.
Phew, what a day. Wait, are you recording? Okay. Hi, Sterling Archer, the world's greatest spy. God, you've got so much to catch up on. So we're gonna have to montage the shit out of this thing. Here we go. Watch everything. Woohoo!
So,
Shut up, here it comes. Try to keep up. I've been sous chef, bartender, drug dealer, Captain Bob, hitman, astronaut, pirate king, a private investigator, the world's greatest secret agent. Punch, bang, boom. I've been up against terrorists, communists, cannibals, clowns, aliens, Dudley douchebags, Franny bikers, world's slowest elevator, cyborgs. I forgot the space pirates. Anywho, I've had sex with Veronica, Trinette, Cheryl, Janelle, Katya, La Madrina. I don't remember this. Get me drunk enough and I might have sex with...
Hey!
Super. But long story short, I've been shot, stabbed, set on fire, poisoned, shot, sexually assaulted, partially chewed, shot, and declared legally dead. twice on the same day. This is gonna be, wait for it, epic! Boom, click, boom, boom. Boom! Did I just blow your mind? Oh! Booyakasha! I swear to God, I can watch this like a million times. Archer, now streaming. FX on Hulu. Really? That actually sounds pretty cool.